All right, everybody. We are going to do a quick video on how to do text inlay so that you can have a dual extrusion print, meaning your body will be one color. The text that comes along the front will be a different color. So one of the examples is I made an organizer for the wire strippers in my classroom. So you can see, quick example here, that the body is going to be the blue color. The text in front is going to be the white. So we're going to take a look at how exactly we can do that in Fusion 360. Okay, so one of the things that I did already is I created my piece here, and you'll notice that I created a full new component. So I made this entire sketch or this entire piece, what I'm doing, in one individual component. Okay, now in order to do this, what I have to do is make a separate component just on the text itself. And we'll show you how to do that in a second. So while working on this component here, what I'm going to do is head to my front view. I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to select the part where I want my text to appear. So selecting this in the front here. Now, when I go up to create up in the top here, I'm going to go to create, and then text down at the bottom. Once I click text, I am going to click from the top left corner to the bottom right to select my text box. Click again. I'm going to type in wire strippers. Okay, now it's easy for me to align this. At the bottom you have your alignment tabs. I'm going to align the center, align the middle, and now I can start to adjust my text. I prefer the impact font, and then I can increase my height accordingly until I get it to something that I think looks nice. So I'll do something like that here. Okay, now from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to click E for extrude, and then I can head to my home symbol, and you can see how now I'm going to be able to drag this. Oop, that's not quite what I wanted. Let's see if I can't get this back here. There we go. So click on the wire or the text itself, click on E, and you can see how I can now drag this back in. Okay, I don't want it to go back that far, so I'm going to click -5 millimeters, bring it back just a little bit. So now you can see how I have this adjustment made. Okay, so I have my pieces in the back here. Again, I don't know if I need to go that deep. So I could potentially go back in here and adjust that accordingly. Again, I don't want to use that much filament, trying to keep it as low as possible just for the added flare of it being set back in. Okay, so again, now that I have my piece adjusted properly, you can see how it's cut out. I want to fill that with a different color filament. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is up in the top in the selection option, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my selection priority to selecting the face. So again, I'm up top here, go to select, selection priority, select the face. The reason I do that is because right now it's kind of hard for me, and I already have this changed, to select just my individual pieces here. So yours might be select the body or even the edge. So if I select my face priority, what I'm going to do now is I can go through and click all of these. Okay, holding in shift as you click will allow you to select the bottom of each of these shapes. I almost forgot top of the eye here. Going through and selecting all of these. So now you can see how I have the bottom of each of these set. Now I can go and I can actually extrude these out. So I click my E. Okay, now these are being prepped to be extruded out. So you can see how I'm getting just the individual text itself extruded out. So what I'm going to do is set that to come out to 2 millimeters because my extrusion back in was 2 millimeters. So I want that to be kind of close towards the edge. You can do a little bit smaller if you want as well. It's kind of your call. So I'm going to just do 2 millimeters. Okay. Now, what you'll see is that it's going to come out just a little bit. So maybe you want to be able to see it. So maybe I'll do something like 2.05, just so you can see where that text is going to be. Okay. Now, the big step here is going to be in the bottom right-hand corner for operation. I'm going to click New Component. Once I click New Component, and then I click OK, my text is now going to be its own individual component. Okay? I can still select each individual one and adjust it as I need to, but now up in the top left-hand corner here, you can see that I have each individual, I have the actual body itself set, and then I have the text. So what I can do is I can hide this, just see my text. Inversely, I can just see this piece itself. Okay? Now I have two separate pieces that I can use to make my text inlay. Okay? When I'm ready to export this, okay, I want to make sure I'm selecting each individual piece. Okay? When I am in Fusion 360, they have a great 3D printing export page. So I click 3D print. Down at the bottom here, I don't need to change anything. I personally don't, except you want to unclick send to 3D print utility. Now you can click OK. So now you can send that wherever you'd like to. Typically, it'll come up in my downloads. So I just save these as specific files that I'm looking for. So maybe wire body, I believe I saved them as earlier. I'll just go V5, just because I have a couple of other pieces saved. Click save, and then I'm going to do the exact same step for my other piece. Okay, so if I right click or click on this one, again, File, 3D print, click OK. I'm just going to go text, V3, click save. All right, so now that I have this piece saved, what I can do is I can head back into Cura. That's the one that I tend to use, and you can see how each individual piece is going to go together. So if I just delete these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Open Files, head to my downloads. I have both of my text and my wire body here ready to go. Okay. Now, both of these will go in at the center point, right? So if I back this up, you can see now how I have both options here. Okay. What I like to do is I like to make sure that I can tell the difference between these. So as you can see up top here, I set one of my filament to be blue, the other one to be white. At the bottom left-hand corner here, okay, that is where you set what style filament you'd like per component. So I'm going to click on my text. All I do is simply change that to extruder head 2, and now you can see that it's easy for me to tell the difference between both of these pieces. So now I can click on my piece, click and drag it back. Now from here, one of the things you'll notice is your text may be slightly off. So what I can do is just use this, not that one. I can zoom in and you can start to adjust this accordingly. Okay, it may not be perfect, and that's okay. All right, but what I'm looking for is just make sure that it looks nice. Okay, so from this point, you essentially have your pieces done. Now, one of the things I do want to point out with Cura is sometimes with part of these, there is a selection made where your pieces will try and stay on the build plate. Okay, so that means you can't move this text to adjust it accordingly. So up in Cura, if you click on Ultimate Cura and Preferences, in the General section, there will be this one here, automatically drop models to the build plate. Okay, this will not allow you to adjust things up height-wise. It'll only allow you to adjust left or right, or forward and backward. Okay, but now you can see you have the option to make those dual extruder multicolor inlay text prints. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll throw a picture of ours at the end so you can see how it turned out. Thanks.